The Kravix Empire had ruled the Andromeda sector for 3,000 years. Their warships, massive dreadnoughts stretching 5 kilometers in length, patrolled the space lanes with absolute authority. No species had ever challenged their dominance. No fleet had ever survived an encounter with their armada, until today. Grace Chen stood on the bridge of the UESC Defiant, her hands clasped behind her back as she studied the tactical display. The holographic projection showed 17 Kravix battlecruisers surrounding the human colony on Meridian Prime. They had issued their ultimatum 3 hours ago: surrender or be annihilated. "Captain, the colony is requesting immediate assistance," her communications officer reported, his voice tight with urgency. Grace's jaw tightened. Meridian Prime housed 40,000 human colonists, farmers, engineers, families who had traveled light years to build a new life. The Kravix considered them trespassers in imperial space, despite humanity's settlement predating first contact by 2 decades. "Ezra, what's our status?" Grace asked, turning to her chief tactical officer. Ezra Morrison looked up from his console, his dark eyes reflecting the glow of weapons readouts. "All systems green, Captain. Void drive is charged and ready. Weapons hot. The crew is at battle stations." Grace nodded slowly. The Defiant was humanity's first true warship, a vessel born from desperation and innovation. While the Kravix relied on brute force and overwhelming firepower, human engineers had taken a different approach. They had studied the enemy, learned their patterns, and built something the galaxy had never seen. "Helm, take us in," Grace commanded. "Engage void drive on my mark." The bridge crew exchanged glances. They all knew what was about to happen. They had trained for this moment, but training and reality were vastly different things. "Ma'am, we'll be outnumbered 17-1, the helmsman said carefully. Grace smiled, though there was no humor in it. "They're not outnumbered. They just don't know it yet." She touched the comm panel. "All hands, this is the captain. Today we show the Kravix Empire why they should have left humanity alone. Today we remind them that we don't yield. We don't surrender. And we sure as hell don't abandon our people. Stations, everyone." Ezra pulled up the tactical overlay. "Captain, I'm mapping their formation. Classic Kravix wall. Heavy firepower concentration in the center. Lighter escorts on the flanks. They're arrogant. They think nothing can penetrate that formation." "Good," Grace said. "Arrogance is exploitable. Helm, prepare for void jump. Coordinates, directly into the center of their formation." The helmsman's hands hesitated over the controls. "Into the center, Captain?" "You heard me." The Kravix had no concept of humanity's void drive technology. While their own faster-than-light travel required massive energy signatures and predictable exit points, human ships could tear microscopic holes in space-time itself, emerging precisely where they intended with virtually no warning. The Empire's worst fear wasn't just human technology. It was human unpredictability. "Mark," Grace said quietly. Reality folded. The Defiant vanished from its position 3 light minutes away and materialized directly in the center of the Kravix formation, less than 5 kilometers from their flagship. Alarms blared across 17 alien bridges simultaneously. "All batteries fire," Grace commanded. The Defiant wasn't designed to match Kravix ships in size or armor. It was designed to kill them before they could react. Railgun rounds, magnetically accelerated to 15% light speed, tore through the vacuum. At such velocities, kinetic energy alone was devastating. The projectiles punched through shields and armor like tissue paper. The nearest Kravix battlecruiser erupted in a cascade of secondary explosions. Its reactor went critical, bathing the surrounding space in gamma radiation. "Target 2 firing," Ezra called out, his fingers dancing across the weapons console. "Target 3 locked." The Kravix fleet scrambled to respond, but their ponderous warships required precious seconds to bring their weapons to bear. Seconds they didn't have. Grace watched the tactical display with clinical precision. "Void drive short jump, coordinates Alpha 7. The Defiant blinked out of existence again, reappearing 5,000 kilometers away, directly behind the Kravix formation. "Aft targets are exposed," Ezra reported. "Their engine clusters are vulnerable." "Then let's make them regret turning their backs on us." Fire. 3 more Kravix ships died in rapid succession, their propulsion systems vaporized by concentrated railgun fire. The remaining vessels began to scatter, their formation breaking apart. But Grace wasn't finished. Launch missile pods. Full spread. The Defiant's hull split open, releasing hundreds of small autonomous missiles, each one locked onto a separate target, their AI-guided systems adjusting trajectory thousands of times per second. The Kravik's point defense systems tried to intercept them, but humanity had learned from Earth's ancient naval warfare. Saturation attacks overwhelmed even the best defenses. Explosions blossomed across the void like deadly flowers. Captain, receiving communication from the Kravik's flagship, the communications officer announced. They're requesting terms of surrender. Grace looked at the tactical display. Of the 17 Kravik's warships, only 9 remained combat effective. The rest were debris or crippled hulks venting atmosphere. Put them through, she said. The view screen flickered, showing the angular reptilian face of a Kravik's admiral. His scales had turned a pale gray, a color Ezra recognized from the intelligence briefings as indicating fear. Human vessel, we yield. Cease your attack. Grace leaned forward in her command chair. You came to human space. You threatened human lives. You gave us an ultimatum. Now I'm giving you one. Leave the system immediately. Abandon any claim to Meridian Prime. If the Kravik's Empire ever threatens humanity again, we won't stop until we've reduced every one of your dreadnoughts to scrap metal. The Admiral's throat sacs inflated, a gesture of submission. We will convey your message to the High Command. See that you do, Grace said coldly. You have 60 seconds to begin your withdrawal. After that, I start shooting again. The transmission ended. Ezra exhaled slowly. Captain, long-range sensors are detecting the Kravik's fleet engaging their FTL drives. They're leaving. Grace nodded, though she didn't relax. Damage report? Minor hull scoring. Shields held at 73%. No casualties. We used 38% of our ammunition. And the colony? Intact. They're reporting no damage from the engagement. Grace finally allowed herself a small smile. Good, send a message to Fleet Command. Tell them the Kravik's have been educated about human resolve. As the Defiant moved into a protective orbit around Meridian Prime, Ezra approached Grace's chair. Ma'am, do you think they'll really leave us alone now? Grace watched the last Kravik ship vanish into hyperspace. They'll tell themselves we got lucky, that our technology surprised them. But deep down, they'll remember today. They'll remember that humanity doesn't back down. And if they come back, Grace's smile widened. Then we'll have to teach them the lesson again. Humanity has survived ice ages, plagues, and world wars. We've crawled from caves to the stars. The Kravik's empire is 3,000 years old. She turned to face Ezra directly. We're older,